Python 201, Lesson 2, Variables and Input and Output. In this lesson, we're going to cover using variables to store information, initializing variables, reassigning values to variables, using the results of functions in code, and then requesting user input and responding to the input, which is going to be pretty cool. We have new syntax, which would be input, that asks the user for a value and returns the result. The value that is returned by the function call can be stored in a variable or then used in another calculation. And print, which displays the specified text, and we've seen that in Python 101. So variables are used to store values. They can be integers, which are numbers, strings, which are text, numbers, or characters, such as punctuation marks, anything like that. Booleans, which are true or false, and more. There's other things we can store in variables. Variable assignment are the instructions that assigns a value to the variable. So that's when we would say like x equals 5. That's an assignment. So here's an example. So my name equals Cody. That's that little blue monster thing. This is the variable assignment. The variable is my name, and the value is Cody. And this is a string value because it's inside the two quotes. We can always give a new value to a variable. The old value is replaced and can never be got again. So once you've replaced a variable with a new value, that's it. It's gone forever from memory. The value of a function outputs from running is a return value. So the return value is if you run a function and you get a value from it, like say x, so you run it and it changes that value and you're returning that back to the function that called it, that value can then be used to be stored inside of a variable. It's going to show you an example. It's easier to see than, there we go. So print equals Cody, print my name. So this is the function, and then this is the return value. We use the input function to ask the user for a value and return the result. The returned value can be stored in a variable or used in another calculation. So for an example, you can say input question, and it would ask the user then to respond to whatever this was. They wouldn't respond to anything like that. You could say input, what is your favorite color? And then they would provide an answer back. Input and output are terms referring to what is written into the code by the user, which is input, and what is displayed by the code, that's the output. So here's an example. It says ask name equals input. What is your name? When you put that piece of code in with the word input, it prompts the user to type something in and press the enter key. When they press that enter key, you can then use that value. If I say print ask name, because that's the variable I'm storing whatever they type back to me in, this will then print that out. And we will see this example. All right, so you're going to be doing a lot of different coding activities in here. You're going to learn about variables. You're going to work through this tutorial, assigning values and learning about variables. You're also going to fix some syntax errors in some variables. You're going to work with variables and creating multiple variables and giving multiple values at the same time, which you can do in one line. You will be combining values together, so using variables and joining things together that are not the same data type or that are the same data type to create sentences of information. You'll be working with the input function, which is the fun one, where it has you actually asking the user to do stuff and enter information in. There's that multiple assignments, and then there's a quiz at the end.